Okay, so I'm gonna be doing a pros and cons kind of list about going to TUJ, about the Musashi Kosugi dorm, as well as living in Tokyo in general. So I'm gonna break this video up into three parts for the three respective topics, just because it's gonna be a really long video. There's a lot of things that I can talk about, and of course, this is all my personal opinion, so everyone will have a different opinion about these topics that I talk about. Let's get started with my first topic about TUJ. So, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of going to TUJ, whether it's the process or just things in TUJ. And I'll be shooting like multiple clips of this as I talk to my friends about their thoughts in about TJ. I'm not only going to state my own opinions, but maybe some of my friends as well. So, I have a list on my phone. So, a pro about TUJ is that it's in the heart of Tokyo. Compared to a lot of other international colleges I was looking at, not all of them were very centralized in Tokyo or were in Tokyo, period. So I like the idea that TUJ is like right in the heart of Tokyo. So it's literally a 5-minute train ride to Shibuya. And it's really convenient for when you want to go out and do stuff. Also, I think that like being so centralized in the middle of Tokyo, it really helps you get to know like a lot of the other places around Tokyo. I enjoy exploring around, so I like to catch like different trains, or like I make note of like certain stops that a lot of people get off at. So like when I come home on the train, lots of people get off at Jiugoka, which I've never heard of Jiugoka, much less been there. But now that I know that like a lot of people get off in that area, I kind of want to go and check it out. So like I try to watch like the flow of people when I'm on the train, or even like when I'm walking around, I'll take a different route just to get more familiar with where I am. Um, the second pro I have about TJ is their major and minor opportunities. Um, I felt that compared to the other colleges that I've applied to, TUJ had a lot more selection for what an international college would offer, as well as the opportunity to double major. So, the thing about double majoring is that it's a lot of work. Like, I had a council meeting with my academic advisor about a week and a half ago, and he went over the amount of credits I need to satisfy both of my majors, and it's a lot of work. But I think if you want to like optimize your opportunities in Japan, it's always good to like have either a Japanese studies major or a Japanese studies minor plus something else. So I'm an international business major as well as a Japanese studies major. So I'm double majoring, and I really enjoy it even though it's a lot of work. And I think that it's really going to help me in the future. Being that I want to work and live in Japan for at least a portion of my time. So the Japanese studies major, you have to go through all the Japanese language courses, like the levels. So you have to go up to advanced 4, I think. And so advanced 4, like up to that level, you start to learn a lot of more business talking, like how to converse in a working environment, especially since we have to learn like formal, and then there's keigo on top of formal. So for me, that was just a plus to be able to take Japanese studies as well as international business, because then I wouldn't just have to like take those Japanese courses and not get anything from it. As the international business major, you're technically only required to go up to intermediate 2, I think. I think that's where you have to take up to for your language for business. But being that I want to live and work in Japan, it was just more convenient to become a Japanese studies major as well. Okay, so my third plus about TUJ is that you're likely to have like class with a lot of different people, and I really enjoy like getting to know other people and learn about their culture. So I have a lot in my English course. I have about 3 or 4 students who've lived in Japan. Like, they're not all of them are natively Japanese, like Japanese citizens, but a lot of them have experienced living in Japan for at least a couple years, which I think is super cool. And I like to talk to them about like what it's been like to live in Japan and how they've adjusted to the point where they're just living in Japan. That's really nice. And then also, like, you meet a lot of other people from other countries as well, whether they're study abroad students or actually matriculated students to TUJ. One of my really close friends is from Nepal, and she really likes to talk about her culture, and it's really interesting to hear about. And I really enjoy like listening to stories of where people came from. Like, even if my other friends from Philly, like, I enjoy hearing her stories about Philly because I've never been to the East Coast, and I don't know if I will, but I enjoy like hearing like what it's like to live in other places besides Hawaii. And lots of people are like, wow, Hawaii is like great. And I always wanted to go to Hawaii. And I enjoy talking about Hawaii a lot, but also I feel that my experience in Hawaii, because I've lived there my whole life, might be different than what people would imagine if they were to go visit. Just because I don't hang out in like a lot of the popular places in Hawaii as well, so I don't really talk, like when they ask me to like suggest places to go, like I usually end up suggesting typical places that tourists would go because I didn't really get out much. But yeah, it's fun to talk to a lot of people and like get to know them. Okay, so I'm moving on to my cons, well, for now. And so my first con is the class selection process as an incoming student. So the way you choose your courses at TUJ, they do it by seniority, which I think a lot of colleges do, and it makes sense why. But also, like, it's kind of inconvenient for you if you're a new student. So if you are going to TUJ without any transfer credits, you're the second to last group of students who get to choose classes. So if there's like a class that you really want to take and it's not available, you can sign up to be put on the wait list, but you're probably not going to get it for that semester. So like I wanted to take Korean 1, and there were two classes open for that, but both of them were full. So I didn't put myself on the wait list, just knowing that I can just take it later. So what I suggest to like help with this is if you know your major, like not everyone's gonna know what major they're gonna go into when they go into college. And I completely understand that. But if you do know your major, I suggest looking at the course list that TUJ puts up online and start looking at the courses to figure out like which ones you're gonna take. And I would really suggest taking analytical reading and writing like your first semester if possible. Even TUJ recommends it, just because you should probably get it out of the way and not wait till the last minute to take it. There were a lot of analytical reading and writing courses. Like, I think there's 8 or 9 classes of it, and they all filled up during in the middle of my course selection. It filled up. Like, I got into one of the classes, but like a lot of people didn't. And so what that meant for like especially the study abroad students who sign up for classes after incoming freshmen with 0 transfer credits, that meant that they probably didn't get their English course, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah. Okay. So my second con kind of has to do with Musashi Kosugi and kind of has to do with TUJ. So that's the staying your dorming situation. So at TUJ, they own like one floor of this huge dormitory in Musashi Kosugi, as well as they have another dorm called Hakusan, and I think they have like maybe a floor or two. Hakusan is basically mainly for the study abroad students, but this year they had such a large overflow of students attending TUJ. Like, this is the highest number of students attending TUJ ever, and so they had to ask students if they were willing to do a shared dorm, so you have a roommate. And yeah, I didn't sign up for it just because I wanted my own room, and I'm kind of used to having my own room, so yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is that TJ only offers like dorming for your first semester at TUJ, meaning that during the winter or once finals ends, you have to move everything out of your dorm. And it kind of sucks in the case that while you're trying to adjust to TUJ, you also have to start looking for a place to live, and that can get a bit confusing, especially when it comes to all the fees that like housing places offer. But yeah, they have people who help, as well as on the bulletin board they have a lot of helpful websites that you can use to search for apartments. I haven't ran into anyone who's had a super huge problem with like starting to search for a place to live. So yeah, it's pretty easy to like get started, but then when you finally find the place you want to stay, you have to like look at all the fees. The move-in fee, there's a move-in fee. Sometimes there will be a fee for a key. So if you want a key to, or you need a key to have a key to get into your apartment. That also has a fee to it. Japan has a lot of fees for housing. That's basically the point I'm making. And so you're kind of trying to deal with this while trying to adjust to your first semester. And I understand that it can be very